Hi guys, and welcome to this week's collective reading. It's August, we're in Leo season, the Lion's Gate is open, and it peaks this week. Exciting days. So, no surprise that Blu-ray Being came out today. The Lion's Gate is an alignment of the stars where our spiritual sun, Sirius, is in alignment with Orion's belt and the constellation of Leo as well. And then it's in alignment with us, right? The Earth and our sun. So because of this alignment, Sirius is more easily able to step down very high vibrational energies and basically hand it off to our sun, right? As Sirius is rising with our sun at this time, right? So the downloads, upgrades, messages that we normally receive from our sun are really being amplified by Sirius at this time, right? And Sirius is carrying and stepping down all of this additional information from its alignment. So this is the time to really focus on your manifestations as they become easier with this amplification from our spiritual sun, carrying Leo's energy, right? We also just had the new moon this morning here where I am. So that just boosts this focus on planting seeds even more, as they will be nurtured to grow as the moon waxes. Sorry, so why that all connects to this card, because I didn't actually say that, did I? Just always on tangents, but it's not a tangent. It connects to this card. So Blu-ray Beings, the reason that I said that this is no surprise that this came out is that Sirius is very strongly connected to Blu-ray Beings. That's why whenever you see depictions of Sirius and its beings, you get a lot of blues going into like deep purples, mostly blues, exactly like the colors on this card. Archangel Michael is also connected to the Blu-ray, which is the Blu-ray is the ray of God's will and power. It's having courage, strength. So this is all about developing your personal power and strengthening the warrior within you, right? That's what Archangel Michael helps us with. If you're into Ascended Masters, the Blu-ray works, the Blu-ray works with, or these Ascended Masters work with, the Blu-ray. So it's got El Moria that falls under it, Melchizedek, Metatron, I suppose that's why Metatron's cube is on this card. Saint John the Baptist, who works quite closely with Metatron. And Saint John the Baptist is connected to Anubis, and then Metatron is often connected with Thoth, and that's why Thoth and Anubis are also often portrayed working together as well. So Metatron, Saint John the Baptist, there are more, but that's what's come up now. And this card reads at the bottom, direct divine expression and bridge between dimensions. And honestly, that's kind of a summary of what the Lion's Gate brings us, right? It's bringing us this direct divine expression thanks to this beautiful alignment that we have in the stars. And Sirius acts as the bridge between dimensions, as it helps to step down these messages that are coming from higher octaves. So, like this card is depicting, the blue ray really works in and around our head, right? This is our air energy. So this is speaking the truth, right? Hearing the truth, seeing the truth through our third eye, right? And receiving these truths through our open crown chakra, right? So you may be having a lot of light language come through at this time. You might have a lot of ringing in your ears, or you might actually be hearing like auditory messages come through. You know, you might have a lot of visions coming through, and just this like knowingness through your crown chakra, tingles in the crown chakra. You might feel like a pulsing sensation in your third eye. These would all be very, I wouldn't say very common, like, you know, average people. I don't like to say that, actually. That's not right. There are no average people. There's no such thing. But people who aren't connected to their spirituality at this time often will be closed off to noticing these things. But for people who are in touch with their spirituality, I would say that these are all common symptoms. So they're not necessarily common symptoms for everybody, but they are common symptoms within the grouping of people that would be listening to this reading. Hope that makes sense. It's about receiving these messages through these vehicles, but then also having the will and the courage, right? This is that warrior energy and that strength of, you know, God's will and your will being in alignment. So it's having that courage to bring the truths that come through us and to embody them in our truest form. I should say your truest form, because whoever's listening to this, right? This is you having the courage to bring the truths that are coming through you, embody them, not just to receive the message, but to embody the message and you know, bring them out to the world, to show your truest form of who you are, right? This is knowing who you are and being that person. This is being in alignment with your I. Now, excuse me, my throat. With grounding next to it, it's funny, this is really reiterating last week's message of last week I really felt the soul star and earth star chakra coming together. So if you didn't watch that one, you may want to go back, because I don't want to get too repetitive. But basically, right, this is a time, right, where our crown chakra and our air energy is naturally very active. We're very active up here, right, above the neck and above. So this is the time of year where you get people who don't even consider themselves spiritual, right, receiving activations and messaging. So all this receptivity at the crown really requires focused, intensive work with grounding to help integrate the energies coming through, right? Otherwise, you can lose yourself, honestly. It's really, really easy for these beautiful spiritual experiences to kind of carry us away, right? The person on this card doesn't even have a body. We just see a head. Right? We can kind of get lost in the clouds and forget how important and beautiful this gift of being human is, right? When you have really beautiful spiritual experiences, it's really easy to just get caught up in them. So we really want to ground them. And honestly, these experiences can also just make us think that we're losing the plot, right? If you're listening to this reading, you're probably more likely to be welcoming to these types of experiences. but not everyone is. And it can be quite scary to start having visions or hearing things, right? Having dreams that come true, or just the instability of having higher vibrational energies than what you're used to, right? Come through your physical body. So you may be extra tired at this time, by the way. So grounding work to balance out and integrate these energies is so incredibly important right now, right? The grounding should really be the focus. And the more you ground, the more your vessel is able to receive, right? So actually, the more you work with the earth, the more you're opening yourself up here to take in more, right? So when we say grounding, or when I say grounding, this is both connecting to the earth, right? The physical earth that's around you, literally spending time outside in nature, by the water, in the woods, in your back garden, taking care of nature, right? It's been really hot where I am, so watering plants in the garden, leaving water out for like bees and, you know, whatever little critters reside in your garden that might like a little drink or a dip to cool down, right? Recycling and reusing falls into this category of taking care of the earth, right? And being a custodian for her. But grounding also extends to taking care of your physical body, right? Creating a space for your soul that is healthy, vibrant, my throat, loved for and cared for, right? So to feel safe and secure in your body, grounded down and rooted to it is very important, right? Because we can really disassociate with our body when we stop taking care of ourselves. This is why exercise is considered grounding. If you're into chakra work, exercise always comes up as something you can do to work with your root chakra, because it brings you into your body, right? It really gets the heart pumping and circulating the blood through the system. So really focus on connecting both to Gaia and the earth, right? The body of earth, by spending time in nature, as well as connecting to your own physical vessel and showing it the care and love, right, that it needs and is wanting through nourishment and movement. And this will enable you to embody and bring down more and more messaging and energies, right? As you can integrate them by taking care of the physicality that being in the 3D requires. So lastly on the table, we have the Three of Swords, which is really perfect and shows the strength of this time, the strength of the Lion's Gate. So you can see on the card that it is quite a sad energy, right? This person they're on their knees, covering their face, right? This is a card carrying this energy of grief and trauma. They've got 3 swords stabbing them in the back with a broken heart. But if you look closely, right, they're also surrounded by angels, right? 2 angels holding them from either side and giving this figure wings. And you can see the rain that is actually falling down. It slowly turns to stars at the bottom of the card. So we've got a bit of an alchemical process going on here. So the card outwardly looks sad, but this is actually, this is about accepting loss, right? Accepting the sadness and grief that we may be holding on to. It's not necessarily overcoming it or conquering it. This is more, this card is more just surrendering to the grief, right? Understanding that it's a part of our existence. and that when we stop fighting it and ignoring it, right, the pain that is associated with it will start to dissipate finally, right? And this rainfall, right, it can become your guiding stars, right? Often it is the hard times that force us to change our trajectory, I'm trying to get the word out, or that builds us into the people that we are today. And it can be really hard to understand why we experience certain traumas. And this card, it really just asks us to surrender. So not needing an answer to the why, and more just knowing and accepting that it's a part of the human experience that we came here for, right? So letting go of the tightness that you carry associated to specific traumas, right? Wherever you carry that in your body, tuning in, right? Finding those spots that feel like they're carrying it. You can notice just by taking a moment to really sit with your body and like scan the body, and you can kind of feel where you're carrying these knots and tightness, and you can breathe into that space, right? Send it healing light. You can close your eyes and actually imagine that, and allow these knots and tight areas to soften, right? Releasing the need to carry it, right? Whatever that trauma is, let it go, right? And this is matching up to this grounding card, right? Because this is taking care of your physical body and releasing what you no longer wish to carry as a burden, sending it back to the earth, right? Allowing Gaia to transmute it, and she will send it back to the stars. So take care of yourselves this week, right? Connect with nature. And I want to hear about all of the amazing downloads and experiences you were having. And that is this week's reading. I will be back next week, hopefully with lots of amazing upgrades. Yeah. Bye, guys.